I know you have some sort of sixth sense of just going through maybe the bullshit or the facade or the whatever that I put up sometimes, or maybe I don't even realize that I put up, right? And you sometimes you make me feel like a bit caught, like, oh yeah, that's actually something that I do all the time. So I feel like I'm much more relaxed. Let's start with that. I now love actually to start new things and have more adventures and not feel pressure to do well all the time. I have hard conversations with colleagues more easily because I don't always just put it onto myself. I feel less pressured by what others think of me. I actually negotiated a better salary. I feel like I'm a better leader because I now actually stay on course because I don't, because even though there are some things I don't know, I'm comfortable with that. I feel comfortable that in the end, when we get to those problems, I'll figure it out, or we'll figure it out together. I don't need to have all the answers right now. Um, and last but not least, I feel like I dare to dream a bit more. I have a little bit of insight on what's possible for me, what's next for me, and actually how I want to develop myself. I feel it. Obviously, I feel all of these results, but it's not just that I feel them inside, but it's also being noticed by people. So my boss, he came up to me yesterday and said, I really noticed that you're really, as a leader, you've really developed yourself. I feel like you're really on a super steep part of your learning curve because you're really guiding us into what we should do. And also actually at home, my girlfriend also says, I feel like you're more relaxed, and I feel like you're not when we're doing DIY projects, you're not always really trying hard all the time. So I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. Um, and I feel like it really it helps me every day. I have a certain way, or had a certain way that I have that I automatically responded to situation of not knowing. So what I always did is, okay, I don't know something, automatically feel like I should know that, get super stressed, and then gotta try really hard to make sure that next time I know everything and it doesn't happen to me ever again. And what we did is what you taught me is that you could take a step back and then just observe that feeling that comes up inside of you, and then choose how you act upon that. So choose what you're going to do with it. So maybe if you take a step back and you don't know something, then maybe you realize that you don't necessarily need to know it right now. And you can choose to do something differently, even though that emotion is still there. You could choose to do something different than you did before. And that was actually a really big click for me, because that doesn't just go for not knowing anything or something, that goes basically for everything. So I noticed and that's a much bigger result than I expected, that influences everything basically in your life. So what I noticed is in my private life, for example, um, I also noticed that I could completely change my relationship to, for example, what I noticed, I went snowboarding for the first time. And I used to be that I'm just going to try super hard, and then I'll learn to snowboard. And what it resulted in is that I'm just going to be frustrated because no one can snowboard well on the first try. And then I could completely change that to being curious. Okay, how's this day gonna go? And I'm just gonna have fun, and I'll see what I learn. And what you saw is, one, I had a much nicer day, obviously, because I wasn't constantly like bashing myself that I should be able to snowboard. But what I also saw is that the learning was actually a lot quicker because I was just relaxed. I was open. I was having fun, and then I actually learned more. So it's really cool that you see that I use it daily in my professional life. It also really finds its way into basically every other aspect of my life. I think that's just a huge result for me. So what I found powerful about our sessions was really three things. So first of all, it's always about here and it's always about now. It's always about what you're feeling right now. Second, it's really about the connection between what's happening in your body and how is it connected to what's happening in your mind and what part of yourself you're putting forward. And third, what I really liked is that you always cut to the bullshit or the facade that maybe I put up. It might be knowingly, it might be unknowingly, but that made our session super powerful, because always being in the now, you don't have to go to some situation in your childhood where you felt something. No, it's always about what are you feeling right now. That makes it that you're actually practicing as you go, right? So you can only work on the feelings that are there right now. You can choose how are you going to act upon the feelings that are here right now. I think that really helped me to really see eye to eye with what I was doing, and then or if you see eye to eye with what you're honestly doing, then I think that's a situation where you can grow. Is this person going to judge me? That was one of the things. Then I also had a feeling like maybe, I don't know, we're going to dive into my mind, and what are we going to run into, and are we going to run into things that I don't want to run into, and is the coach then maybe, is Niels then maybe going to, I don't know, pressure me, or going to dig up old traumas, or am I going to cry all the time in his chair? It's not scary. I thought it was scary. It's talking about yourself, you're being vulnerable, but it's not that. To me, it wasn't scary. Nothing weird happened. You're there on your own terms. Talk about what you want to talk about. Make people who feel that, a bit more in control, and create upon their situation instead of being a victim of the situation that they're in. If you ever feel like it, yeah, then I would definitely recommend coming to you. If you feel that sometimes you feel a bit pressured, or you feel that there's some situations that you're not comfortable in, or you feel like you're a bit, being pushed around by the situation that you're in, I think if you ever have that feeling, then it's super good idea to just talk to you about that, and then I'm sure that yeah, you can help them. When we talked in our first session, where you already talked about this video, and then I said, okay, so I want to make this video super epic. But when I said that back then, I did that because I wanted other people to see, I know, what I achieved and what a great coachee I was. And I think, oh, Tom is super cool. But actually, I still want this to be a really cool video. But the reason why has completely changed, because now I actually want just other people to experience what coaching can do for you, what working with you can do for you. Because I hope that more people get to experience this, and I think it can mean a lot to a lot of people.